Hi, everyone. It looks like we have quite a few people joining. We're going to give it just a few minutes to let everyone enter the meeting. Awesome. The number is going up pretty quickly here. All right, perfect. Let's go ahead and get started. Perfect. Well, thanks everyone for joining us today. Today we have Vacasa with us to talk about becoming an expert in buying and selling vacation homes. Before I let them take over for today's chat, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a background on Radius for those of you who aren't familiar. So back in 2015, we started as a community, and we were primarily a place for agents to network and connect. One of the main use cases we found was, agents sharing referrals, which kind of led to our agent-to-agent referral marketplace. Radius also has Radius Assist, which is our ISA concierge tool. If you use any sort of online lead source, we're here to help you filter through those leads through Radius Assist. And that takes us to present day. We launched our brokerage last year. Currently, we are based in California and Colorado. We have about 70 agents who've joined the brokerage so far. And, our ultimate goal is to support you guys as agents individually. So we help with all elements of branding and marketing for you as the agent. And I would say lastly, and one of the most important elements is we are a flat fee brokerage. So for each deal, you do take 100% of your commission. For future events and general information on Radius, we do have the following social media channels. We do announce all of our upcoming events. There's a lot of great content coming up in the next couple of months here. We'd love for you to join us with. And with that being said, I will pass it off to our speakers for today, Louisa and Susan with Vacasa.
All right. Well, hi, everyone. I'm Louisa Hansen. I am a marketing lead here at Vacasa, really focusing on the real estate side of things and our expert agent network, which I'll discuss a little later on in my presentation. And then I want to hand it over to Susan to let her introduce herself. She's helping support me with Q&A and questions.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Susan Scanlon. I'm the Director of Real Estate for Vacasa. I manage most of our compliance and a large number of our brokerages on the East Coast and support Louisa and everybody else in becoming an expert in buying and selling vacation homes. And I will see you at the end for any questions and answers that I can provide.
So, all right. Now I'm going to share my screen and take things away. Let me things off to the side. All right. Well, like I said, welcome. Thank you for joining our webinar. My name is Louisa Hansen, and I'll be your host today. Here at Vacasa, we're all about unlocking the possibilities of how others enjoy vacation homes. And we take care of managing our homeowners' homes so they can enjoy their free time and their homes when they want with peace of mind, while allowing our guests to book vacations with ease. We have over 10 years of extensive knowledge and experience working in the vacation rental industry. We work with a multitude of partners and real estate agents to mutually grow our businesses and provide better experiences for our clients. By the end of our time today, I hope you feel more comfortable and confident about the vacation rental market. The goal of today's webinar is to give you more information about the industry, the opportunities that are available for real estate agents, and how you can ultimately become an expert in buying and selling vacation rentals. So during the webinar today, I'll be covering insightful industry statistics and projections, who's investing in vacation homes and why, where buyers are purchasing, what buyers will want to know, how to prepare sellers, and how to learn more about the industry. Then after that, we'll wrap things up with Q&A. So please utilize the chat to submit your questions, and we'll answer as many as we can when we get to the Q&A portion. Before we dive into the industry stats and projections, I want to give you a little more information about Vacasa and why you and your clients can trust us and our services. We're the leading vacation rental management platform in North America. We employ local care teams in every market we operate, which are backed by central support teams in our headquarter markets that specialize in marketing, technology, engineering, and much more. We were founded in 2009 and manage just one home on the Washington coast. We now manage over 30,000 properties in 32 states, 4 foreign countries, and in over 400 different markets. We now have over a decade's worth of data from millions of guests per year and a team of highly skilled analysts who distill this information, helping our owners maximize their income and make memorable experiences for our guests. Now that you have a little more information about Vacasa, let's get started with current industry statistics and projections. To give you an overview of the size of the second home market, there are currently over 5 million second homes in the US, and even on the largest platforms like Airbnb and Vrbo, only 1 million are being used as vacation rentals. And here are some interesting stats about the current vacation rental industry. In 2019, the global vacation rental market was valued at over $87 billion, which was 29 billion more than projected. The expected global spend by 2022 is estimated to be over $200 billion. On any given night, 2 million people are staying in Airbnbs. This is only Airbnb, and there are other booking channels that people utilize like Vacasa, Vrbo, and Booking.com to name a few. And before 2020 and the onset of COVID-19, there were over 448 million vacation rental guests worldwide. Speaking of COVID-19, we cannot address the current landscape without addressing how the pandemic has impacted the vacation rental industry. Here are some trends and changes that have occurred as a result of the pandemic. One, we're seeing more road trips. During the summer of 2020, we saw the distance guests were traveling between their home and their destination drop by 19% compared to years prior. And we're seeing that closer to home trend continue through the summer of 2021 as well. For example, in Texas, more than 80% of guests who booked via our website are traveling less than 350 miles to get to their vacation rental this summer. The top concern for travelers is the cleanliness of the property to ensure their families and friends stay safe while traveling. There has been an increase in workcations and staycations due to the flexibility of remote work, which means that guests are staying longer than previously. The average length of stay in a Vacasa vacation rental this summer is pacing 13% above 2019, and August is even pacing 7% ahead of 2020 as well. Through 2021, we'll see vacationers opting for more outdoorsy locations rather than urban areas to avoid crowds. And during the pandemic, many homeowners and vacation rental managers were forced to list on multiple channels to reach more travelers. This vacation rental marketing strategy, more often than not, paid off. If you're listing to one channel, you're inadvertently only listing or advertising to a select number of travelers. So this adoption helps homeowners achieve a more stable occupancy rate. Though originally the vacation rental industry was drastically impacted by COVID-19, it has bounced back strong. The CEO of Vacasa, Matt Roberts, recently stated, "We're already above pre-pandemic levels, so we're expecting business to continue to boom." I think part of that is the preference shift to vacation rentals from traditional accommodations. We found 19% of people tried vacation rentals for the first time during the pandemic, and 52% of them say they'll prefer it going forward. So it's a great share shift to the product that we deliver. With that being said, there has definitely been an increase in the demand for vacation home purchases, which have skyrocketed during the pandemic. While things may start to normalize this year, in 2020, consumers sought out second homes as places to get outside, have more space with their families, and have the flexibility to work and or school from home. And we're still anticipating a second home market as people make lasting changes to the way they live as a result of the pandemic. In addition, historically low mortgage rates have also made home purchases more affordable, while rising prices in past years have yielded higher home equity gains, which can be tapped through, say, a HELOC for a down payment. Though the primary housing market is booming, vacation home sales are outperforming total existing home sales. As you can see in this graph, sales of homes intended for vacation use rose a little over 109,000 in the months July through September 2020, which is 44% gain of the level of 75,600 sales from the same period last year, according to NAR. In comparison, total existing home sales during July through September of 2020 rose a little over 13% year over year. And per NAR's RCI survey, not only did second homes get sold, they sold faster compared to historical norms. Of the second homes where the sale closed during July through September 2020, 58% of those homes sold within 1 month, a higher fraction compared to 25% 1 year prior, and the average being about 30%. 71% of existing homes that closed in September 2020 were on the market less than 1 month. Hopefully what I've just discussed demonstrates the massive opportunity in the vacation rental industry. Now let's touch on some key reasons why buyers are drawn to these types of properties. There are 4 key reasons why buyers are looking to purchase vacation homes. 1, to obviously generate additional income. 2 is to build equity and wealth. Many of the markets that we operate in continue to be vibrant communities over the years, which means the likelihood of the buyer's property to appreciate over time is high. Another is to prepare for retirement. Many vacation home owners purchase a property with the idea that they'll eventually sell their current residence and then move into their vacation home once they retire. And finally, to help simplify and save money on vacation planning. Owning a vacation property can take the stress out of finding accommodations or picking a destination. Our team recently conducted a vacation rental buyer survey to better understand vacation home buyers. We surveyed 700 potential buyers to learn more about them, where they're most interested in buying, and how agents can best help them. In this next section, I'll talk about those findings, plus break down the types of buyers you may work with within this niche. From our recent buyer survey, we identified some interesting trends by generation when it comes to a vacation rentals buyer's priorities and motivations. Our research found that millennials are the biggest buyer group at 40%, followed by Gen X at 33%, and then baby boomers at 22%. Gen Z is starting to enter the market, but however, there's still a lot of them that are adolescents, so the percentage is only 4%. And we have the silent generation at 1%, which are people in their late 70s to 90s. It's no surprise with this group aging that there aren't many active buyers. The results of the 2021 vacation rental buyer survey showed some interesting stats by generation, such as 51% of millennials said that they would definitely or probably would purchase a home sight unseen, versus 38% of Gen Xers and only 13% of baby boomers were open to this option. As a real estate professional, this shows you that being more technologically savvy with millennials is important, because you may be showing properties to them via video conferencing and communicating more via text, email, and phone rather than in person. Versus with baby boomers, you're most likely going to be viewing properties in person together. Another interesting stat by generation is when choosing an agent, 70% of baby boomers expect their agent to have an understanding of local market insights, versus only 52% of millennials and 58% of Gen Xers expect the same. Baby boomers are definitely using their agents as their main source of information when it comes to purchasing a home. Lastly, when asked what channels buyers are planning on using to look for information about purchases, it varied by generation. Millennials and Gen Zers are more likely than any other generation to look to online videos, investment blogs and podcasts, and events for information. Meanwhile, baby boomers are most likely to use search engines to find information. Now that you have an idea of the age groups you'll be working with, let's break down each of the distinct buyer types that you might come across as you dip your toe into the second home market. The 3 types are savvy real estate investors, affluent professionals, and dream planners. First is the savvy real estate investor. These types of buyers are all about generating income and only interested in the investment part of the transaction. They are more likely to not utilize the property for personal use, and they may purchase the property sight unseen. Their priorities are to get the maximum return on their investment. The numbers, they make data-driven decisions when it comes to their investments, and they want a good capitalization rate or a cap rate, which I will discuss a little later on. You as an agent can help these types of buyers by digging into the numbers, having financial figures handy, and focus less on the attributes of the home and highlight how it benefits guests to drive higher rental income. Next up is the affluent professional. These types of buyers are interested in purchasing vacation homes for both personal and professional reasons. Their priorities are to diversify their investment portfolio, earn appreciation on their investment, increase the return on their investment, and on occasion, they'll want to enjoy their vacation rental for personal use. You can help these types of buyers by knowing regulatory and permitting requirements, helping them find the right location, and providing advice on how to increase the ROI of their property. Lastly, we have the dream planner. These types of buyers are interested in utilizing the property as often as they can for personal use. Their priorities are to enjoy their property and eventually retire to the home, to offset their monthly mortgage payment, invest their time and energy into the property, and keep their home safe while they're away. You can help these types of buyers by getting to know them personally. They see this home as a long-term goal and they want to work with someone that they can trust and turn to for advice. They'll also want you to share your ROI ideas. Dream planners may still have a mortgage on their primary residence, so any ideas that you have to offset some of the payments is much appreciated. And connecting them with local resources such as property management companies, maintenance workers, and general contractors. In our 2021 vacation rental buyer survey, we also discovered some additional interesting facts about today's vacation home buyers. 66% of buyers make between $50,000 and $150,000 per year. 67% of buyers are going to be first-time vacation home buyers. 50% of buyers who already own a property would purchase a property sight unseen, while only 25% of first-time vacation home buyers would purchase similarly. And 60% of buyers are willing to pay between $200,000 and $600,000 for a home. I would also like to note that according to our buyer survey, 63% of buyers don't have an agent or a broker that they plan to work with. And almost half of those people say they plan to search online. So it will be a great idea to position yourself as an agent that works with vacation rental buyers to tap into this demand. Since you now know a little bit about the types of buyers who are purchasing vacation rentals, let's dive into where they're buying these properties. In our recent buyer survey, we asked potential buyers what type of region they're considering purchasing a vacation rental, and these were the results. 42% of respondents said beach towns such as Destin, Florida, Gulf Shores, Alabama, and Kauai, Hawaii. 34% of respondents said that they were interested in urban locations. Think Seattle, Washington, Austin, Texas, Nashville, Tennessee. 33% of respondents said that they were interested in lake locations, Lake Havasu, Arizona, Harbor Springs, Michigan, Lake Tahoe, California. 24% of respondents said that they were interested in mountain locations. Think Mount Hood, Oregon, Big Sky, Montana, and Poconos, Pennsylvania. And then 17% of respondents were also interested in rural areas too, and 12% were undecided or didn't care where they purchased. Each August, Vacasa compiles a report of our top 25 best places to buy a vacation home. Listed here are the top 10 places to buy as of 2020. Some of these places include Big Sky, Montana, Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and Palm Springs, California. You'll also notice that the median home sale price is listed, as well as the cap rate of each market. The cap rate plays a big factor in determining the best markets. For those of you that don't know what a cap rate or capitalization rate is, it is a formula real estate investors often use to compare properties apples to apples. Let's say an investor is considering a fourplex, a duplex, and a single family short-term rental. They would use the cap rates to compare these three opportunities. You calculate the cap rate by taking the net operating income, which excludes mortgage expenses, divided by the purchase price. We have a full list of the top 25 markets on our website if you're interested in learning more about them. We publish this list yearly in August, so be on the lookout in the coming months. Vacasa also publishes the best places to buy a beach house, a lake house, and a winter vacation home each year. The top locations previously mentioned are popular because of their particular draw and the common activities travelers are looking to do on vacation. Here, you will see what activities buyers consider most important in determining the location of their vacation purchase. When conducting similar research in 2019, rest and relaxation was rated amongst the most important activities. This year, that statement still holds true. We found an astonishing 78% of buyers prioritize rest and relaxation as their #1 location activity. 79% of vacation rental buyers surveyed had children, so it's not surprising that the second-ranked activity driving purchasing decisions was buying a family-friendly retreat. Following rest and relaxation and finding a family-friendly retreat, other top activities include drinking and dining, water activities, and sightseeing. When looking at the places people are buying vacation rentals, it's also important to note what type of property they're looking to purchase. A majority of buyers at 63% are considering buying a standalone home. Outside of standalone homes, condos are most preferred at 34%. Also, millennials are more likely than other generations to consider purchasing an apartment for an investment or vacation rental property, versus baby boomers are more likely than other generations to consider buying a condo. Since I've given you an overview of the market, let's jump into what buyers want to know about purchasing a vacation home and some important information you need to be prepared to address. As I mentioned earlier, the type of channel in which a buyer primarily is going to leverage to find information may vary by generation, but as a whole, 58% of buyers expect to find info on vacation rental purchases directly on their agent or broker's website, ranking this resource above any other form of marketing, including search engines. And 53% of buyers expect to get information directly from their real estate agent. This isn't new news to you to know that over half of buyers are looking for information to be shared by their agents, but this just means you need to be prepared with all the information your buyer will need to know to support the purchase of a vacation rental. When asked more specifically what they're expecting from their agents, buyers are looking for a variety of knowledge such as negotiation skills, connections with good property management companies, the ability to provide personal consulting for specific properties, and to identify potential home improvements to maximize their ROI. With that being said, buyers are going to be coming to you with lots of questions, so be prepared to answer. Some of the most common questions buyers ask are, can I enjoy my vacation rental and still make money on it? What will my ROI look like? What are some things I can either do upfront or along the way to increase the ROI and really maximize my rental income? Can I increase my budget if I rent out my house? What will my cap rate be? Will I have any tax benefits with owning a vacation rental? Are there any special permits and regulations I will need to obtain? Do you have any recommendations for property management? And what features will increase the income of my home? These are just a few of the questions buyers may ask, so definitely be prepared with answers or know how to find those answers. Speaking of features, Vacasa compiled a list of the top 10 features that influence how much a home can potentially make based off the thousands of homes we manage and the millions of guests we serve. These are features that buyers definitely want to consider when purchasing because they could directly impact their earning potential. Some of those features are the number of bathrooms relevant to occupancy. The more occupancy a property has, the more bathroom access guests are going to want. The number of bedrooms and beds available in the property. If you only have a 2-bedroom with a sleeper sofa, you're going to have a max occupancy of 6 versus having a 4-bedroom with one of those bedrooms having 2 sets of bunk beds. You'll be able to sleep 10 plus people, making that property more accommodating to multifamily vacationers. Market value and neighborhood demographics play a big influence too. If it's a hot market, people are going to pay more to stay in those places. Plus, a specific neighborhood may have different attractions that visitors are interested in. And many guests find having private access to a hot tub as a priority as well. Another important thing buyers are going to want to figure out is how they plan to finance the property. Here are some tips to help set your buyers up for success. 1, get them thinking like an underwriter. An underwriter's job is to reduce the risk of the lender, so buyers want to make sure they're in a good position to buy. Have them check their credit score, ensure that they have 20 to 25% for a down payment, and at least 6 months of reserves. Make sure your buyer is factoring in their debt to income ratio. Lenders like to see a debt to income ratio of 43% or less. Have your buyer consider using the equity in their primary home to finance their rental through a HELOC or a refi. And a bonus tip, if possible, show the lender an income projection of the property your buyer is looking to purchase. This will help show how your buyer plans to offset some of the costs associated with the home. When working with your clients and learning about how they plan on financing their vacation rental purchase, they may mention that they're going to sell an existing investment property to purchase the new property. If they mention this, they may want to look into a 1031 exchange. I won't go into a ton of detail since there are different ways and several stipulations surrounding 1031 exchange, but I do want you to be aware of this potential option for your clients. Put simply, a 1031 exchange is IRS speak for swapping one income property for another. You're changing your investment in the eyes of the IRS, transferring the gain from one property to another while allowing your investment to grow tax deferred. In some circumstances, homeowners can even convert a rental acquired in a 1031 exchange into a future retirement home. Note, in the first 2 years of ownership, the property does have to be a rental, and there are limitations on the number of personal days that a homeowner can use. Homeowners can only stay at their property for personal use a maximum of 14 days per year. But at the end of the day, make sure that your client connects with their CPA regarding laws and regulations that govern 1031 exchanges. If your buyer is planning on renting out their vacation home, there's a good chance they haven't thought through all the nitty-gritty details that go into running a successful vacation rental, such as the setup and decor, marketing to maximize earnings, and maintaining the property. And on the next few slides, I'll go over some quick checklists of things your buyers are going to want to figure out as soon as possible. First is the setup and decor. Your buyers are going to want to consider all of these: furniture, homeware, think of all the kitchen gadgets and cookware used daily, appliances, supplies from toilet paper to coffee, unit amenities like hot tubs, board games, and patio furniture. Something homeowners often overlook is activity gear that's popular to their region, such as kayaks for lakes, snowshoes in winter regions, and sandcastle building supplies for the beach. In addition to the setup is the decor. Homeowners will want to consider the design and aesthetic that they want to have in their home. This is just a brief list but this gives you an idea of the items that your buyers are going to want to consider and account for once they purchase their home. Next is marketing. New vacation rental buyers often overlook the marketing of the property. Buyers will want to make sure that they list the property on multiple websites such as Airbnb, Vrbo, and Booking.com, to name a few. Have professional photos of the property and possibly a 3D virtual tour from a company like Matterport. Have a well-written description of the home and include all the unit amenities that the property has to offer. Have a solid pricing strategy, and whether or not they want to do any additional advertising of the property to maximize its exposure. Lastly is property management. There's a lot that goes into having a vacation rental, so it's important for buyers to consider how they plan to address all aspects of the rental. These are just a few of the things that go into managing a vacation rental: guest screening, guest questions and requests, home maintenance and cleaning, replenishing supplies like soaps and toilet paper, check in and check out, property safety, marketing like I previously mentioned, and much more. Now let's compare the most common approaches to managing a vacation rental. There are owners that self-manage, ones that utilize a la carte service providers, and those that utilize full service companies like Vacasa. There are a few things that are important to consider when deciding which route to choose: cost, personal investment in time and resources, and the scalability of services. When an owner chooses to self-manage, they're required to handle basically everything on their own, from guest communication to pricing the property, which shouldn't remain static. Vacation rental owners often consider utilizing a la carte service providers who can help with some of the responsibilities, but not others. These options can help ease the workload for vacation homeowners, but owners will definitely still have to be heavily involved in many of the aspects depending on the service model. These types of providers usually can help with booking questions. They can provide professional marketing, but many of these providers often lack staff to provide full service care, and they may only have one central office and may not be in the neighborhood where that homeowner has their home. Also be aware with these types of services that I mentioned, they may or may not be included in their standard rental agreement, which means owners are going to have to pay out of pocket for additional services. And then there are the owners that utilize full service vacation rental management companies like Vacasa to handle the critical elements of managing a successful vacation rental home. With full service option, owners can enjoy their property and not worry about the issues that may arise with managing the property the property. At Vacasa, owners get guest support, regular inspections, professional cleaning staff, and we connect you with outstanding contractors. We do professional marketing from the listing description to listing the property on 20+ booking channels. We have dynamic pricing, which is similar to how airline rates fluctuate daily. This helps homeowners achieve a higher earning potential based off demand. And we have local care teams in every market we operate, which are backed by our central offices that have tech and marketing. Like I said, there's a lot that goes into choosing how an owner will manage the property, and they'll be looking to their agents for guidance and advice. And that's why, according to our buyer report, 39% of buyers want an agent who can connect them with a good property management company. So building relationships in your local community is key. Now that we've discussed buyers, let's briefly talk about how to help sellers. There are a few key things to set clients up for success and possibly boost the selling price. Throughout the webinar, you have learned that there are huge opportunities within the vacation rental industry. This means you can take that knowledge and understanding and then help showcase properties as potential vacation rentals. There are some key things you are going to want to do to make the listing top-notch. One is through good marketing, which includes professional photos highlighting the top amenities and features. Also, with buyers being more open to purchasing a property sight unseen, it's great to consider providing a virtual option through a 3D home tour as well. Besides marketing, you should include an income projection of the home. Even if the home wasn't previously rented out as a vacation rental, there are ways to get income projections. Through Vacasa's expert agent network, we offer free tools and resources that agents can utilize to create income projections of homes, which then you can add to the listing information. And lastly, if the vacation home was a rental in the past, providing historical data from that property. If your seller managed the property or utilized a property management company in the past, see if they can easily obtain this information. I know I've shared a lot of info with you today, but you can always learn more about the industry and continue to develop your expertise for this booming niche. As you've seen throughout the webinar, buyers are going to look to you to understand the local market and provide you with the necessary information. This can play a factor for buyers and sellers when choosing an agent. However, you don't need to know everything about the industry. Having knowledge is beneficial, but having access to resources, tools, and connections is just as valuable. Vacasa can help you learn more about the vacation rental industry and make it easier to approach conversations with both buyers and sellers. Besides our portfolio of homes, data, and technology, we also have market experts that are eager to help agents sell more vacation rentals. They are a wealth of knowledge when working with agents, buyers, and sellers. Many of these market experts live in the same areas that we operate homes and know a lot about their region-specific market. They also are able to provide you and your clients with info and data specific to that market. For your buyers, our market experts can run income estimates on interested properties, as well as run comparisons on multiple properties a buyer may be interested in. For a listing agent, we can provide rental projections for the home to help sell the home as a potential vacation rental. Our market experts are also able to do presentations to your brokerages and firms. That way you can learn more about the industry and how Vacasa can help your team. Besides connecting with your market expert, you can also gain more knowledge and insight into the vacation rental industry by joining our expert agent network. It's free to join, and you'll receive access to free resources such as articles and videos about the vacation rental industry. We send out monthly newsletters on industry news and updates on resources, tools, and upcoming events. You'll get early access to market reports such as the yearly buyer survey that I've mentioned throughout this presentation. Access to our vacation rental income projection tools, where you'll be able to put in the exact address and get an estimate on what clients could potentially make with their listing with Vacasa. Additional educational opportunities. We have a vacation home certification course that you can take, and opportunities to receive extra referral incentives. We offer up to $2,500 to expert agents that refer homeowners to Vacasa. If you're interested in joining, please visit vacasa.com/radius-agent, and we've also dropped the link for easy access. All right, that wraps up the presentation part of our talk. We have a few minutes for Q&A. I'm going to have Susan come back on and help answer some of those questions. So Lauren, do we have any questions from the chat?
Yeah, to start, thanks so much, Louisa. There was a lot of great information here. I did have a couple of messages on, how can people access this information after today's presentation? So let's start there.
Yeah, recording wise, are you guys sending out a recording?
We will have a recording of the presentation. And then in terms of any additional resources, we can send them your way.
Yeah, that's awesome. I just want to make sure that if they wanted to come back to this information via a recording, they could. As for information, so we actually have a connect with us form. So Lauren, I believe I gave you that link. If we can drop that into the chat, that form puts you in touch with my team. And we will then connect you with your local market expert who can obviously run projections for you, answer questions that they may have about the market, answer any questions about Vacasa and what clients get with our property management services. So that's a good starting point. And then also just joining our expert agent network. Like I mentioned, we have free resources and tools that you can utilize to learn more about that. And if you forget who to contact, like you can always reach out to our team and we'll help you with that. Perfect.
For everyone listening, I have gone ahead and dropped that contact form. We will send a follow-up email as well if you're interested in connecting. We did have a question too on what is your recommendation for how to weed out potential vacation homes for sale that have rental restrictions?
Susan, do you want to take that one?
Yep, I can take this one. You want to reach out to the local Vacasa expert sales executive in your market, right? That's what they do. They know by neighborhood. They will be able to guide you. We have an entire department that focuses on compliance on local levels. And as most of you would realize, that changes on a daily basis. I mean, there are multiple communities around the country that are still wrestling with this a little bit, and things differ from neighborhood to neighborhood, from condo association to condo association. So my suggestion is 100%, if you are in a marketplace where we have Vacasa sales executives, connect with them. That's what they're there for. They're to help you with this.
Perfect. Thanks, Susan. And off of that question, if Vacasa doesn't operate in someone's market, can they still join?
Yeah, they are free to join the expert agent network. The great thing about our network too is this, like how you have set up with referrals and stuff like that. There's opportunities sometimes where maybe you're in a market that we don't operate, but you worked with a client and they're interested in buying in a market that we do operate in. And so we have agents and we also have other expert agents that we can connect them with. I actually did something similar this week where someone in Central Florida, their client wanted to buy in Asheville. And so I connected them with an expert agent in that region, and they're working on helping them find a house in Asheville now.
Yeah, I think the other thing to consider would be the rate at which we're growing. And so if you're in a marketplace where we currently don't exist, we're coming. We're headed in that direction. I think that everybody's probably aware that we are acquiring turnkey. So if you have turnkey offices in your neighborhood or in the area in which you work, they are becoming Vacasa sales executives in the next 30 days. And we're growing. We're growing every opportunity that we have. If you see an opportunity for us, reach out through Louisa. We'll get you to the right place, to the right people. We have huge resources and an ability to come in and really make a difference in the community.
Amazing. That's great information. It sounds like you guys are a really great resource. You wear a lot of hats and can really support agents in this market.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that if there's a question regarding a short-term rental, either the buying, the selling, how to manage one, if you can come to one of us, we will find you the answers. We have a pretty extensive team. And if I don't know it and Louisa doesn't know it, we're going to find the person that can help you.
Great. It looks like we did have a question come in. By joining the expert agent network, will you announce when they're in a new market as well?
Yes. Yeah. So with our newsletter, we actually this is something I'm working on, is when we get some new markets that we'll be announcing them in our monthly newsletter. That way we have expert agents that may not be in a market that we currently operate. Maybe that's their market now. And so they're aware of it. And so then start putting them in touch with a sales executive. So.
Right. And the sales executives will have access to that list as well. So as we enter new marketplaces, we're doing it on a regular basis. Those new sales executives are looking to the expert agent network to see who's out there, who knows about us, who knows their community. Oftentimes you guys have a better idea. Those of us that have been buying and selling real estate for a long time have a pretty intricate knowledge of what's happening in a community. And while we are a tremendous resource, we all look to you as a resource as well.
That's a great mindset there. Are you guys in Colorado currently? It's another question we had.
Yes,
we have several markets in Colorado. So definitely reach out to our team and we'll put you in touch with an executive in those areas. So.
Perfect. Well, thanks so much for joining us today, Louisa and Susan, and everyone listening in. This was a ton of valuable information, and we'll be sure to follow up with you via email and give you access to this recording as well as the contact form. It is in the chat as well, but I know that will disappear here soon. But thanks again, and we look forward to chatting with all of you soon and hopefully seeing you at our next event.
Awesome. Well, thank you for letting us join and speak to your audience about the opportunities in the vacation rental industry for agents. So, and just to end things, if you do have questions and you don't have that contact form, please reach out to expert agent support at vacasa.com. And that's my team's distro. And we'll be able to help with any of those questions you have about Vacasa and getting you in touch with a market expert.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.
Bye now.